VARUS has been one of the most strongest champions in the meta for ages, and what about playing him as an off-meta pick in the jungle to spice things up? On the Chinese server, that's a daily occurrence, and I'll teach you how to play this pick in the jungle department, showcasing you how to clear your jungle, how to maneuver around the map, and what to do to consistently win games with this absolutely broken pick from the start of the game to the end of the game. So enjoy the video. We'll have multiple games today, so don't worry, we have everything for you. First off, we start here with a Grom start. He doesn't believe that he has priority to do anything on the Draven and Thresh side, so he just starts here to quickly clear this side out and then transition over to the other side with the Maokai. Maokai has a reliable CC to consistently get kills on because, well, the second ability and the first ability Dislocation are absolutely broken. With this in mind, just going there is just way more likely to net you anything than, you know, going to a lane that just instantly kills you, aka Thresh and Draven. Already the first death down there, Draven gets the kill to Misfortune and the Leona gets the kill back, so it's not worth for the Leona at all because the Draven gets the kill. As VARUS jungle, you do not want to clear your chicken camp, he just takes one chicken and then transitions over to the red buff. Doing the chickens takes way too much time, and as you see, he's kiting the camp towards the next camp. Now he's kiting it towards the Croc. Then utilize the execute bonus damage of his first ability with the second ability to quickly clear out that camp as well. With that done, he's now transitioning over to the lane he can gank in the most reliable fashion, which is the Maokai lane. Gets a quick little kill here, and now it's all on him to clear the wave for his lane. He even blocks the combo of the Jace. This wave could be fine if he wants to. He can also just help him push if he truly wants to as well, because it's VARUS, it's just so easy. And now they get a free reset. This here is way too risky, I do believe. He should... Why is Jace... Oh no, Jace was the mid laner, my bad. Gets the free kill, can even he even preserves his smite, which is very, very powerful, because he has so much damage onto the first ability. It's actually crazy. And now he gets a free reset. This game, it seems like he would go for CDR boots or defensive boots. What's he going for? He goes for CDR boots and for a Ring of Revelation. Now he has like 40 haste. He just gained 40 haste. And for VARUS, haste is a lot, because your entire champion's functionality is centered around having spells available, and therefore adding haste to you actually nets you more damage in most scenarios, unless it's like a one-shot scenario. If you can utilize spells more consistently, like having more of them available, you can go for more proactive plays over and over again. Your ultimate already has a way lower cooldown, and you can just go there. At this point of the game, it should already be enough to just have your base damage to kill somebody. Ultimate of Leona connects, one-shot commences, he didn't even need to use the empowered version of the Q, he just has too much damage. Like you see, he doesn't have any damage items, but the champion's damage is obscenely high, and the Nimbus Cloak as well as the Flash just allow him to chase after. That is some very interesting gameplay in general. And if you're like, but what about champions that just invade him? Level 5 onwards, when VARUS has ultimate, any person that invades him needs to be careful though, because it's still VARUS. VARUS damage is so absurdly high if he has his ultimates, the Chains of Corruption, available, that he might just instantly kill you if you get too close or mess up slightly, especially if he has Flash or Nimbus, because don't forget, Nimbus and Smite interact with each other, so if you pop the Smite, you gain a burst of movement speed, as well as stealing movement speed from the enemy anyway. So for his first item, which is very interesting for me to see, he goes for Trinity Force. This is some literal Chinese tech. This is what Chinese players love to do, Trinity Force on every champion. I personally don't really know why Trinity Force on the VARUS. I mean, if you want to view it from this angle, okay, it has attack speed 80, every stats you kind of want, plus some extra tankiness, plus even more haste. That's a decent choice. But other than this, how consistently can you proc the Spellblade in a fight to really use its value? So just do yourself a favor. I think the his recall button is covering the Sheen button, like the enhancement part. So if you're in a fight, just do yourself a favor and count the Spellblade procs you can see. Like, I'm just curious to see how many of these Sheen procs he can when it comes to fighting. In jungle, it's obviously nice to get, like, you can't steal this from the Varus. Turns on to the Draven who's running in. Now the Jace is in the front line. There's not much damage you see from the auto attacks, but the biggest damage of this champion comes from the Blight passive stacks. If you detonate these stacks, you deal so much damage. Because if you just take a look at these monsters, they're capped against monsters. But you see, like, he just did so much damage onto that one. And if he has a second ability, which basically turns your first ability into an execute spell because it increases the damage dealt, depending on the missing HP of the enemy champion, you deal so much damage. Because whenever somebody is doing some damage for you, you just capitalize on that situation, quickly executing anyone in front of you. So right now he's in his strongest form until he completes a Sense Reaver. Because getting the Cloak of Agility doesn't really do too much. Only the full item completion does help him a lot. What is that hook about? Draven, you need to be really careful. Ooh, nice flash by El Dravino. Because if that connects, you just die. Because Leona applies Sunlight with her spells. And then the Varus just instantly one-shots you and you can't move. And this is honestly one of these things that are really powerful about Leona, is that she adds so much damage. Like, she has 3 spells that are AoE spells, and these spells allow you to apply Sunlight to multiple people. And the Sunlight passive can be procced by your allies to allow you to even deal more damage. Because I think it goes up to like 180 or something. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, it gets close to that number, I think. But it should be somewhere like starting at 40, 50, it goes up to like 180 something something, maybe a little bit lower, but you get the idea, and obviously you have multiple instances of that spell. Nice sidestep here. Jace on the rotation tries to get the Leona here, but what is he doing? Because even if he gets 1 kill, how is it worth it? It's simply not, because he will just die and then the enemy team will capitalize on that one again and get the free tower. So the best he could have done is just take the wave, because that way you would have avoided losing the tower. And yeah, the gold allocation would have been better. Or maybe at least try to be further away to just defend the tower and not just get yourself killed for the fun of it. Did he just tell his brand to buy Frozen Heart? Did I just see that right? I think, how about some random cat stuff again here? Now walks in the mid lane, doesn't really have many camps to farm, only the Krug camp, so you're just hovering around his laners, getting some control. Like, would have been lovely if the Leona walks with him. You see how much damage he does to the wave? Like, thanks to the power of a Sense Reaver, increasing your damage by 22.5% with just a Sense Reaver itself. Comes close here. The set dies before he can do anything. Jay's trying to escape, but now Draven is completely alone, flashing after him. Instantly, he just died instantly, you know? Completely annihilating him within just 1 frame. Now Dragon is spawning in like 15 seconds. His team needs to either find a oh, that is a terrible situation. The Lilia was camping. She was cosplaying the Gorilla turret just in the brush here. Because if the Herald is now useless, at least we can pretend being the Herald ourselves and become the Guerrilla Warfare gamer. She has Ghost and Magi. This Lilia has Magi. I honestly don't understand what is wrong with people going for Magi, because this item is literally worthless. It was terrible on release. it got nerfed for whatever reason and is even more terrible right now, which doesn't make any sense. So yeah, here we are. Draven running it down again in the front line. Lilia zooming away. Still scaling. What is this, Maokai? I mean, it's Maokai, it doesn't matter. You just CCs and he survives. And look at the damage of this champion. Nice sidestep or nice miss. It really depends on your perspective, to be honest. And they just collect a free dub here. Next dragon into the hands, into the claws of the VARUS. And the next item, Riftmaker, is going to make this champion so much stronger. Just think about this, right? You have a champion that does percentage of your maximum HP and damage with the passive, with these blight stacks. Now you have an item that turns your damage into true damage, 9%. Now this damage is scaled of the damage they take before resistances come to play, but now we have a massive play coming up. The enemy will not move for the next 10 hours. The set is getting completely obliterated. Nice sidestepping the Haymaker. Now the Leona is on top of the Jace. Jace dies and the Draven is again trying to be the frontline hero that runs it down, as every Draven main, sorry Draven mains out there. And the game is completely on its head. And all he has to do is just go towards the Nashor. If you look at their team composition, they have a Leona and Maokai. The enemy will not move. And just draft-wise, because it's so difficult to move against these champions, if the enemy falls behind, they will just get walked over on cooldown. Because if you look at the champions, they have as well paired up with the Maokai and the Leona, here namely Brand and Misfortune, it's, even if they're like somewhat behind, right, they still provide insane value. Because number one, Brand just has to press ultimate, and he will continuously proc, if you, especially if he has Leandri, Leona's passive, as well as dealing high percentage of the enemy's target in damage over and over again, so they can't clump up. The Misfortune provides value with the slow as well as the ultimate ability, because it's so difficult to defend objectives. Because look, they can't really approach, they can't defend waves, they don't have wave clear capabilities. They only have very close range stuff, and whenever somebody gets too close, they might just get completely all in. Their biggest hopes are if the set gets a very good ultimate into the backline with a high HP champion. So he deals a lot of entry damage, then pulls them together with the third ability, and then has a very high second ability. Ooh, this can be very, very interesting right now. The Sleep of the Lilia connects, but the Jace instantly falls. Draven is in no position to hit the backline, flashes after the Varus, but Nimbus Cloak will be enough. No, it will not be enough. The Blood Rush of Draven is just barely enough to catch up to that guy, thanks to the reset of catching access. Lilia hitting another bowling ball. The bowling pins, however, are not falling over. She's looking for an angle, gets CC'd up by the Maokai. Lilia has to proxy the wave, that's her best she can do, which she did for long enough of time, because they can't just go onto the Lilia. Now the reset is happening, the soul is spawning in approximately like 45 seconds. So he has enough time to just quickly kill his jungle. You see double camping, pulling them together, just making efficient use of his time. And next up he's going for an Amaranth Twin God, as it seems, because he faces a decent amount of magic and physical damage. And playing against the Lilia, yes, she has Magi. The later the game goes, the more problematic this champion becomes if you don't have any magic resist. Getting engaged on here, the Brand turns around, you see what I talked about, like the full combo on the people engaging? It's just so much damage, even if the Brand isn't remotely fed, But now the entire burn damage is hitting so many people, they have to back off. Leona turns around, misses the Zenith Blade. Now, the Lilia's in the front line, walks too close to El Brandino, but now the Varus is in a big trouble. He walks away, pops the QSS to not get CC'd. Nice CC by the Maokai, but it's not enough. No, it is enough. The Riftmaker barely sustains the Varus. He picks up the fruit, and now it's still all on. Somehow the Maokai actually killed the Lilia, and now we have a big problem for the Thresh. He's running for his life. But look at the range, look at the damage. Mr. Thresh is on an escape route, but will he actually get away? And will they be able to end the game? I highly doubt so because the enemy team is respawning. But how did Lilia fall to the Maokai? Does she not have enough damage items? Did it really become her punishment that she has Magi over another item which could have sustained her? Because, again, you pay, like, I think it's 1850 for Magi, and the item only provides you with AP and movement speed once you have 10 plus stacks, and then the AP isn't really something you really desire, and the movement speed, especially if you play with Ghost, isn't something you truly need as well. And now we are picking up the Terminus. But now Lilia has everything she needs. She has Rabadon, she has her 3 core items which she desires to have, which means she has now scaled into to a point where she is a big threat. If she hits a very good third ability or first ability with Stasis and Sleep, they have a big chance of winning still. Sett just dies pointlessly. Nice Zenith Blade onto the Draven. Lilia's running for her life, can't get away from this Varus being too fast, and with that they're ending the first game. This will be an easy way. Another nice Zenith Blade. Jace jumps in with 2 disguise, and yeah, we hop over into the second game now. And again, if you really like these videos, please check out their channel. I think it's very nice to see a completely different perspective, especially if it's more like off meta. Just because playing this game from a purely meta point of view can be really stale and boring, because you're forced to play the same champions over and over again if you want to win the most games in higher brackets. So this one is just more relaxing and definitely more fun to witness than just being like, okay, I have to pick this meta champion. If it's banned, I have to play this meta champion. If it's not banned, well, I guess I play this champion again. And there's only a handful of champions you play over and over again because they net you the highest win percentage. My bad. So again, for the clear, as you see, he's chaining them pretty well, utilizing the power of his passive perfectly marked out on how to kill these little wolves. Now he pulls 1 little chicken with 2 or 3 auto attacks, and then he will use this to pull the red buff and execute 1 little chicken just to be more efficient with his time because he barely loses anything. Then when this is low enough, roughly like 400 or 300 HP, like 308 HP, he walks over, pops the second ability, uses first ability, and gets the execute on that one as well. And again, he's pathing away from a lane is very difficult to gank and rather helps out his Yone. Scuttle at 133, 134, he reaches the Scuttle. He will not hit level 5 because he obviously didn't fully clear his jungle. But he's still in a position where he can actually do a lot. Sadly, he didn't see how much the Hecarim did. And rather than helping or looking at the mid lane, could he have done something if he looked is the question. Or did he just not want to? Because he wanted to do this. But the issue is he doesn't have spells available. So Akali will probably try to get... this is actually terrible that she still had flash. Because he didn't have spells available, which means he doesn't have the damage to kill her. So he was depending or like hoping that Akali doesn't have a shroud, because if he doesn't have a shroud, she dies there. But because he didn't look at what happened mid lane, he just assumed she didn't have shroud. So this play would have worked out, or well, never would have never happened if he watched mid lane and never saw or actually saw Kali use Shroud. So this is a perfect example of why you should use your camera more often to just look. But maybe he was interacting with the stream as of this moment, and now he's not hitting the ward because he doesn't want to give away that he's here, and he rather just walked past it and just went there because it wasn't relevant. Even if the ward was, for example, in the river, he would just walk past it because he's already disabling it. For you, if you're placing a ward and suddenly it's gone, well, you better run, because that's why you have to often check the minimap if the vision is turned on or off, because that is an indicator if somebody is coming or not, and just doing it every few seconds can be an absolute lifesaver. Or if you're clearing jungle camps or just walk around the map, just panning your camera, just getting some extra information. Pops the oh, that is so unbelievably unlucky. No way. But look at VARUS ult cooldown. It's a joke. It has no cooldown. But he just got so unlucky. Akali's coming here. No, she's not. And another kill. The Hakram is getting ridiculously fed here, and his team is really struggling. Hits the ult onto the Seraphine, gets a free pickup onto the Seraphine, will get another pickup here as well onto the bot lane. So this is what we call a bipolar play. The Hakram just made a play on the opposing side of the map as well as going towards the mid lane, and they didn't see the VARUS at all. So rather than just doing this stupid dive there, they could have just not do this, and therefore his team or their team would have had a bigger advantage. But because they felt the need to do something because they wanted to be the heroes, they gave the VARUS so much gold for free. And in this game, the Hakram will be severely punished for actually going Eclipse over a real item. Because Eclipse will not really do anything for him here. Yes, you might make the argument, the enemy team is squishy, yes, so you can go Eclipse because it's 55 AD. If you come from this perspective, it's completely fine. But the issue is the item in itself doesn't really provide you with too much. Mimic being picked up, so his team gets a lot of mines. These mines can then be used to take down platings at the tower. Every lane gets one little charge of Mimic mines. His bot lane is encountering some interesting issues at the dragon for every reason while Lux is there, because there's no point for it to be there because they already secured Herald. So they know Hakram wasn't there, so the conclusion could be, well, if he's not there, he must be here. So if I go there, I might die. I don't have to visually see that he's there to assume that he will be there. Enemy bot lane again going for this type of play for no reason. He completely capitalizes on the enemy's obliviousness, if that's even a word, I have no idea, we'll just go with it. They are just being oblivious as to what is happening on the map for zero reason. Because the Hakram just left, and if the Hakram isn't here, and we haven't seen the VARUS for a while, why are we trying to push for another play? We are already winning, or we were winning. So why are we giving the VARUS more opportunities to come back into the game and carry his team? Nice ultimate here. Kali just flashed right into it. He's just zooming away. Nimbus Cloak popping off. Timo gets the kill. Double kill for El Tito, as it seems. And this game, having access to either QSS or Stasis, more like the QSS, because then you can actually play as Hakram engages, it's very, very important. Because that's what most people do when they play against Hakram. They, for some reason, don't go QSS. and then they QSS, then they stasis, which is basically the same effect as getting feared by the Hecarim, because the enemy team in most instances will be able to move up, and then you stand there alone, turn golden, and die briefly after. And that is something you obviously do not want to have, right? You want to actually be able to play. Akali waiting in the brush, ults in onto the guy. He just took away so much HP of the Akali instantly. Oh my god, he nearly died as well. It was really, really close. Doesn't have any defensive items. It's just so crazy how close this was. Does the Akali have bad items, maybe? Maybe this was close because of bad items? Because I get the feeling that given his build, the Akali should have dealt so much damage. I need to see the come on, can you press tab for longer than 0.1 seconds? I know you just want to get like a quick stimuli and see what's going on, because you already know the location of the enemy champion on the scoreboard, so you can just take a quick look, or you're just bored and need to just satisfy the ADHD, which I can completely relate to. And the problem is Akali will have Shroud, so big damage being dealt, Hecarim is being here, cancels, but doesn't matter, QSS is being popped but dies to the Hecarim. Look at him, he's fuming. Picks up the Ascends Reaver, now we have a lot of extra damage. Sivir is going for some interesting 0 damage build with Shield Bow into Navori. I mean, crit AD carries Dispatch are in a lot of pain, to be fair, with the exception of Lucian because he's still Lucian. Come on, show the Akali build, please. Because I don't want to pause and give you guys some pain. Flashes in, gets the Hecarim, Hecarim gets off the fear, but the QSS is available. Turn around, now the Gwenster is fighting him and he will certainly fall here. He's getting put in a lot of, or he's taking a lot of fights right now which are very unfavorable for how his champion wants to be played. But given that he's playing against Hecarim and Akali, it's very difficult to path his champion as well, because the enemy has such easy access to him. So we have to keep that one in mind. I just saw Gwen with Rylai's. Oh, it's Infinity Orb Rush Akali. That explains a lot. Instead of Profit Spend and stuff. Okay. It's fine, not the worst, but still. But yeah, it's a Rylai's Gwen. Interesting. Baron Nash is spawning in a few seconds. But Hecarim just chooses to run it down for whatever reason. How does that one hit, by the way? Nice sidestep here, but was it sidestep or was it QSS? He QSS regardless, but still. Yeah, Baron Nashor right now, I don't know if is it even worth the time to do. Because it's so bad, it's so unbelievably bad. The objective is so weak. Like, it doesn't matter if you do it nowadays or not, unless you hit like really, really late game and people have wave clear. Because the issue with current Nashor is, you have to sacrifice one of your team and put them into the T-Rex, right? But the issue is, you lose that person in the fight, and it's in that stupid T-Rex. Plus, only the first wave, the first cannon minions will be empowered once this thing spawns, and then you have to stick towards with the T-Rex. And the people see the T-Rex on the minimap. So, you think that picking up this thing is good, and that playing with it is good, but it really just hurts you. It's really crazy how getting this objective objectively makes you somewhat weaker as a team because you have to sacrifice a person. Because look, he now has the T-hacks. Look at his impact. He's worthless. Look, he's completely worthless. It doesn't do shit. Look. If he was not inside the T-hacks, the enemy team collectively dies. It doesn't do anything. Look at how much damage he does to them. Nice flashy Hakram comes around the corner, Seraphine looking for an angle, QSS is the slow. Hakram now comes in, still has ult, has ult again, and he falls. So, you see, he was the most fat member on the team, so technically speaking, he was indeed griefing by picking up the T-hacks. He needed to just let it stay in base and let somebody else pick it up, or just not pick it up at all. Because, again, you just saw, him being in the T-hacks is a massive nerf towards him having impact, as well as his damage, because it literally doesn't do anything. So I really hope that Riot does something in the future with the T-hacks. Maybe I should do like a little dedicated video about that one, about how much of an objective issue we have right now in the game. And how unbelievably weak these objectives are now. It's just crazy. It's the ultimate onto the Akali, does so much damage. Akali has E onto the Varus, but Varus has Amaranth procced, so he's a lot tankier than people might believe he is. Seraphine installed, but QSS is still available, not even needing to do so with the power of Twin Guard. Now the Hakram is looking at him as well, pops the ultimate here, but QSS still available, gets them all killed. You see the power of this champion now without the T-hacks completely handicapping his impact? It's insane. It's just so stupid that it works the way it does. And yeah, we're at the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out their channel in the description below, and we'll see each other for more content. If you have something that you believe that I should review, and if you talk to the people there, that I'm allowed to do so, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll give it a look, and if it's very interesting, I'll break it down. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this one helps all of you who want to play some off-meta stuff and not underperform with it. And we'll see each other for more content very soon. Take care.